Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the lines, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like this? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken from tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yep, yep. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Hello, I'm Tommy Meek, and I would like to welcome you to another edition of It's Time for a Change. This young lady to my left, Martesha Brown, I don't know her that well, but I'm getting to know her a lot better. Martesha, I'm glad you decided to join me on the show today.
No problem. Thank you for the invite.
Now, I gotta admit to you, I was with my good friend Tim Demke at the Park District.
Yes.
And Tim pulled me to the side. I don't know if you just started working for him, but you were working for the Park District.
Uh-huh.
And he said, you see that young lady right there? I said, yeah. If she sticks around, she could probably be running this Park District someday. And he's running it now. So
Yes.
I think he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But, how long were you at the Park District?
I was at the Park District for about 16 years. Yep,
16
about 16 years. I know it doesn't look like it, but it was actually one of my very first jobs, and I absolutely love the Park District and the team that's there. They're awesome.
Yeah. So you worked at the Park District and then you went to school. Tell me a little bit about your background.
Absolutely.
You know, high school and college.
Absolutely.
And
I actually went to Auburn High School, so for any Auburnites that are out there, woohoo!
Nice. Love it.
I went to Auburn High School. After that, I got my undergraduate degree from SIU Carbondale, so Southern Illinois Carbondale. And then after that, I actually got my master's, my MBA from Rockford University here, located in Rockford. So.
Now, you know, you went to Auburn, you know a lot of young girls, I'm sure you hung around with some.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see a lot of your friends doing the same thing you were doing?
You know, I would say definitely the close circle that I had around me, they definitely were interested in going to school after high school. One of my best friends, Annie Hobson, she actually went to SIU Carbondale with me, you know, one of my basketball buddies. So, yeah, so I would say definitely my close-knit group of friends decided to go to college after high school, are doing great things right now.
Now, did you play basketball in high school?
I did.
College?
I was a point guard. I had some handles.
Really?
Yeah, I was pretty good back in my day.
Left hand, so you probably would just dog me out still.
Oh, don't feel bad. I actually played my nephew a couple weeks ago, and I haven't touched a basketball court in about 2 years, so I was pretty sore after that. So I had some skills, but I had to get it back up there.
Now, did you play for SIU at all?
I did intramural, but not on the team there.
Okay, well, I can understand that. I played college football at Eastern Illinois, not too far from Southern Illinois, 4 years, and I loved it. Met a lot of great people.
Yeah. It was a good experience.
So now you left. I found out one day I had a meeting with Tim, and when I left his office, I was walking down the hall and I saw you in your office. And I was coming in to say, hey, I got to get you on the show. And then you was packing your bags.
Yeah,
you was packing your box up. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I will always miss the Park District, as I said. Very, very great people there, and I think I'm a Parkie at heart. But I actually had the opportunity to take on a brand spanking new position at Alpine Bank as their community outreach officer. Really, really unique position that has allowed me to go back into the neighborhoods that I grew up in on the west side and the south side of Rockford. So it's definitely a different change, but I'm enjoying it.
Let's talk a little bit about your family, because I know your father. I mean, I can't say I know him that well, but I know him, I respect him, I've seen him through the years. We're kind of close in age, I might be a little older. But talk about your father first and then your mother.
Yeah, my father, Michael Brown, AKA I call him Papa Bear. We always say he's Papa Bear because you don't want to see the claws come out, but you know, that's my Papa Bear. Yeah, I love him. He has been such an inspiration for me. When it comes to my management style, when it comes to how I live my life, when it comes to just really some of those key morals that are inside of me, I know that's come from my dad and just watching him by example. And then I have my mom, Miss Michelle Brown. She is a strong and powerful woman. When you talk about someone who has the ability to be independent and still be loving and take charge and is just a natural born leader, that's my mom. So I have both of those aspects that I really love.
Well, you know, I see your dad at Logley's, or Snooks now.
Yeah.
He's been a manager there for years, and it seems like he's really handled his business. He's picked his career he's going to stay with, and that helped him take care of his family through the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure he's done a good job there because he's still there.
Oh yeah, I can tell you, my dad has, one thing that I've learned from him is he knows how to build relationships. He knows how to build relationships, and he'll tell me that there's people that'll come to the store that are just looking for him, you know, just to say hi, and I hope that I can aspire to be something like that.
Well, you know, me and you had lunch a while back, and after you took your new position at Alpine Bank, and I'll be honest, I was so pleased to see Alpine. They were at, so were they at Snooks a long time ago on Rockton? I don't know, but I know they were at Snooks.
Yep, in a couple
Lutz
different
Park,
Snooks,
and on Charles Street. But they built a building on Auburn and Maine.
Yes. This is our, I would say, our first bank that's on the west side of Rockford, which is huge. I know they've been working on it for many, many years. So the idea and the concept behind it has been there for many, many years. We've gotten a lot of very, very positive feedback with having the bank right there. I mean, just the resources and the different cultures and groups of people from all different diverse backgrounds. It's been awesome.
Now, when we had lunch, you were telling me about a program. Can you describe a little bit about the program? I know you don't want to go in great depth about it, but it really seems like it's geared to help some people that need some help. Yeah,
well, I think what might be best, I can maybe share a little bit about my role, and then I can roll into kind of what the programs are all about. Is as the new community outreach officer for Alpine Bank, there are two key things that I could say that I'm focusing on. The first one is financial literacy, and that simply means helping people to get to a point of whatever their financial dreams are. So that's going to be, you know, setting a budget for their household. That's going to be learning how to save, learning how to invest, learning whatever that financial goal is. That's what we want to make sure we do. And so I've been reaching out to different community organizations and different places of business to see what we can do, even churches, to see what we can do to get out there and teach financial literacy to some of those individuals that are considered unbanked or underbanked.
Well, you know, like a prime example, you get some people that get a job, they work somewhere, and they still cash their check at the currency exchange. They could open up a checking account, at least in a sense establish some type of connection with the bank, and then roll in the savings or whatever. I know it's not a lot of interest in savings right now. But it's still it's such a great benefit to have a checking or a savings account. I don't have the statistic right in front of me, but there's a crazy amount, I believe it's a couple $100,000 that an individual will spend in their lifetime simply on fees for going to different places or going to different places outside of a bank, whether it's cashing their check, different things of that sort, just a crazy amount that I'm sure we all want in our pocket. So yes, I definitely always recommend. I know there's sometimes a fear there. Maybe you feel like you've been burnt before by a bank, or you just didn't understand how the process worked. And when it comes to Alpine Bank, that's why it's so important for me to get out and teach those aspects of financial literacy, because you can make it work for you. You can be very, very successful. It's just about the knowledge to be able to do that. Well, you know, that leads me into another part of the conversation that we had. You were telling me about a program that the bank was trying to implement. When you first started telling me, I started thinking, I said, man, this could really be good for people that's working every day. They may not make a whole lot of money, and they're paying rent, every month. And
and that's the second part of my job. That's perfect. The second part of my position is to share our new program. It's called the Neighborhood Proud program, and that's through Alpine Bank. The great thing about this program is that it is unique to Alpine Bank. So the bank has actually dedicated $1 million towards these programs, towards our Neighborhood Proud mortgage program and our Neighborhood Proud home improvement program. Really, really phenomenal program.
Is that $1 million a piece or together?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is that $1 million a piece for
Together, collectively together. So the cool thing about the program, and I'll first start off with the, let's say the mortgage program. So the Neighborhood Proud Mortgage Program will give individuals the opportunity to purchase a home that may not have the highest credit score. So, you know, normally if you're looking to purchase a home, they may be looking for, you know, a 660, a 640 credit score, a 620. We are willing to work with a 580.
580.
So that's actually an update from the last time we had lunch. And it was based upon, the great thing about, I can say about Alpine Bank is the ability to listen to the public and give the customers what they want and what they need. And based upon that feedback, that's how we were able to kind of look at that credit score and take it to a 580. Another awesome thing about the program is we provide, you know, up to $2,000 of closing cost assistance. We ask for about 3% minimum down payment, but again, that's something that based upon the grants that are out there for down payment assistance, you may be able to get some assistance with that too.
So you guys help them with grants? That's
we can actually walk them through, So during their process, when they sit down and meet with us, we can share with them the different grants and the criteria to be able to get those grants too.
Now, we'll take an example of a young lady that I know. My wife really knows her. And I've been knowing her, and she's a great lady, single woman, paying rent every month, And, you know, without mentioning her name, found out her landlord had got that place that she lived in for almost 20 years paying rent. He's about ready to lose it, and she didn't know where to go. And my wife was telling me that story, and I said, ain't that something? Let me call Martesha, see if they can get together. So I told you about her. I gave her your number. How did things work out?
We were able to sit down and meet with her, share with her some information about the program and various different options, not even just the Neighborhood Proud program, but various different options that are out there available to her. And that beautiful young lady is going to be in a home pretty soon here. So it was successful for her.
It was. It worked out.
It worked out well.
Well, I tell you, I'm really impressed. You know, I will have to say, it's a long time coming. For Alpine to be on the other side of the river. But like I always say, better late than never. You know? And you know, they brought you in to work on some things. Are there any other things you're working on? Well, I'll say this. You guys helped me with Juneteenth this year.
Yes, we're excited for that. Woohoo! I'm excited.
And that's a part of doing the show today. I want to say thank you again for being such a good sponsor.
No problem.
We had Juneteenth scheduled June 19th from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock on June 19th at Mississippi Park, and I hope you can be there.
Oh yes, I will be there. I will say to anyone that's out there, plan on seeing me out there. I'll be hanging out and sharing some more information, especially about the Neighborhood Proud programs and making sure to get that out there as well.
That's what I was hoping. You know, we'll do this show, let people know where we're going to be at on June 19th. In case it does rain, I worked out a deal with the district. We'll be at the district in case the good Lord decides to rain on us that day. And that's happened in 26 years. This will be the 27th year we've done this. It's happened maybe twice.
Not gonna.
So hopefully it doesn't rain, we're out in the park, but if not, we'll be at the district.
And I would encourage, if there's anyone else that's planning to go to the event, not only will I have the information about the Neighborhood Proud mortgage program and the home improvement program, but I will also have some resources, and we'll teach a little bit of financial literacy there, right there at the table, and share how do you improve your credit score, how do you develop a budget. You know, I want you to walk out with information and to feel empowered that you're going to be able to reach whatever that goal is. And so that's what we're going to try to do on Juneteenth.
Well, you know, we have about 5 minutes left. What other things can people get involved in at the bank that you know about right now that you think might help people on the west side, south side of Rockford?
Yeah, absolutely.
They haven't known about in the past.
Yeah, well, there's one other program I'll share, and then I also want to share some employment opportunities as well. So the first one, I know we talked about the Neighborhood Proud mortgage program. We also have the home improvement program. And the cool thing about this program is that, again, if you stay within the areas, there's about 6 census tracts, and I can give more details about that. But if you stay in that area and you're looking to get maybe an unsecured loan or a secured loan to improve your home, that's also something they can come and talk to me about. Again, that same 580 credit score, the key thing with both of those programs is just that they stay within that area, and or they're looking to move into that area. So it's pretty unique. So that's something, again, unheard of. It's Alpine Bank's money. We're keeping it on our portfolio. We're not selling those loans to someone else. So we're really dedicated to that. But what I would also really want to share and encourage is that there are work opportunities out there.
Really?
When people think about banking, and I can say maybe for the African American community, that may not be the career that they instantly think of. You know what I mean? And I just speak that on myself because it wasn't something that I originally even thought of. And there's opportunities that are out there. We have, you know, some college-age students that are working part-time. They're going to college here in the Rockford area, and they're also working at the bank. And pretty much what you need is a high school diploma. You need to be 18. And there's some other criteria, of course, that we look at, as anyone would when you're in the hiring process. But, you know, there's opportunities there. We train for it. And there's people that have been at Alpine Bank for 10, 15, 20 years. So I would definitely encourage, and I'll bring that to Juneteenth as well, information about employment opportunities.
Well, that employment thing, I got a call from a young man. He played basketball for Auburn. I remember seeing his name in the newspaper. He called me just yesterday.
Yeah.
And he graduated from Tennessee State University in business management with some accounting. So what I say is that he's got his bachelor's degree. He's home looking for some work. It won't hurt for him to come to the bank and maybe, you know, get with you just to see.
Get a feel for what it's all about.
Right. And maybe some opportunity might be for him down the line, because when I talked to him on the phone yesterday, number one, I was so impressed that he took the time to leave Rockford, go away to school,
get that experience,
stay in school, get a good education, and then I was so happy they decided to come back to Rockford.
Yeah,
because
we need it.
We need these young role models like yourself and him to show a lot of our young people, especially African Americans, that if you do the right thing, stay in school, get a good education. If you have to go to college or get another skilled trade, but doing what's right and staying on the right road.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to get in some of the trouble and things that you know and I know that go on in our community.
You know, and I think it's so tough for the youth that are in this community right now, because they may have this feeling that they want to have a sense of belonging, but there are so many outstanding young African American adults that are here in Rockford. I think about like a Matt Simpson, a Joshua Patterson. There's some phenomenal Jazz Keys. There's some phenomenal people that are leaders in this community, and we just got to continue to show and highlight that, hey, we're doing it. We're proud to be here from Rockford. We're very, very proud to be here in Rockford. You can do this too. So.
Well, I tell you what, I'm so glad you sent me that message a while back and telling me. And I'm glad I ran into you at the park district, because I said, you're going to leave the park district and maybe a little while later you could be running this thing. But it's good for you to find your niche in this community. But the best part about it, you came back home.
Oh, yep. I'm proud to be from Rockford. I'm here.
Yeah, and that could be a model for other women. We got 30 seconds, but are you affiliated with K-Fact at all? You know
I know Shamika. I know Shamika, and hopefully I'll be volunteering there pretty soon. She's going to share, but she's she's another perfect example. Another perfect example.
The only thing I'll say, I told Shamika when I had him on the show, keep them girls in line, and maybe our young men will start acting like some of them should be acting. All of them going away to school, all of them coming back home, all of them staying out of trouble, and all of them getting educated.
She is a perfect example. Awesome young lady.
I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank Alpine Bank for being one of the top sponsors for Juneteenth this year.
Excited.
On June 19th, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, Mississippi Park. I got a good blues band coming in called Kinsey Report, along with Too Deep, Red, and Odessa Barmore's band. We got a nice show scheduled, and come on out and join us. And like I said, if it rains, we'll be at the district. Okay, I have another guest, a real blues man, more blue than me. When we come.
Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Take it from T is simple and And what? Yep, yep.
I'd like to welcome you back to It's Time for a Change. I met this man, he communicated with me some kind of way, and we did some messaging back and forth. Steve Jones, with the Crossroads Blues Society.
Yep, I have been for 13 years now.
13 years?
Yep.
And this year at Juneteenth, I mean, you really helped a lot with this Juneteenth celebration I've been working on. We wanted to focus on blues this year, and our highlight band is called the Kinsey Report. And you knew all about them.
Oh, yeah.
And you come on board because, in a sense, later on this year, you're going to be bringing them back to Rockford. Talk a little bit about your organization.
Sure. Well, Crossroads Blues Society, we've been around for 23 years now, since 1994. They started in Lanark, Illinois as a small group of people interested in the blues. Mm-hmm. Lasted about 5 years, and then the interest waned, and they kind of moved to center of operation in Rockford. And they started looking at what was going to be our focus. Our focus, is blues music, and blues music education would be good because, there was people worried about the blues dying. Mm-hmm. And so the group basically said, let's focus on blues in the schools. And so in 2001 they began planning, and in 2002 they started in earnest doing programs in the schools where they would go into the local schools in Rockford and the surrounding school districts. Mm-hmm. And we would go do programs for kids, assemblies, or sometimes within the classroom, and play blues music and educate the kids about the blues, about how it came from Africa, how it worked, the field hollers and work songs, and the church music came in, gave them a little bit idea on verses and choruses. Mm-hmm. And it became the blues. When the slaves were freed, they played in juke joints. Everybody started, the country people started hearing it, became country music. Yeah. Went into the cities, it became jazz. Went to Memphis, it became rock and roll. It became rap and soul and R&B, and it went up to, with the Industrial Revolution, came to the big cities and got electrified. Went overseas to the Beatles and Rolling Stones, who brought it back to us, and it's all the blues. Everything we have is the blues. So teaching kids about that is important.
I'm so glad you, real quickly, because we don't have a lot of time, you brought up a real long history of factual events that taken place in this country. But what I like the most about it is like the people in Europe or in England, they appreciated some of these artists that were here in this country way more than the people here in this country appreciated.
They did. Back in the 60s when all the musical taste changed, R&B kind of surpassed the blues in the African American community. The white kids were listening to surf music and early rock and roll with Elvis, which was blues, and Chuck Berry, which is blues. But the rock and roll became popular. But these guys went overseas. Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, and these guys were all touring Europe for years until their late years. And the Europeans have a huge blues market, and they still today, I think, per capita, there's more people that love the blues there than in America. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. There's the biggest blues festival in the world is in Notodden, Norway. I probably pronounced that wrong.
Really?
It's one of the most popular ones, and it's huge. It goes on for about a week, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Now touch on yours for a little bit, because we're going to do a show later on this summer. You have a big event coming up in August. Just touch on it a little bit.
So we do. This will be our 8th annual Crossroads Blues Festival. It's at Lyron Park, which is just south of the airport on South Bend Road, off Kishwaukee Road there, right on the Kishwaukee River. And that is our main fundraiser for our Blues in the Schools program. To do Blues in the Schools, we need money, and we used to get grants and stuff, but we found that with the festival being successful, we can basically use donations and ticket sales to build the festival up, and now the festival has become our primary fundraiser for that Blues in the Schools. Mm-hmm. So that's, we've got, like you said, we got Kinsey Report coming out as one of our headliners, Doug Deming and the Jewel Tones, the Jimmies, Corey Dennison Band, and Ivy Ford Band, and we got 4 things in between acts. And it's a great day. It's only $5 to come, $10 at the door. It's very family oriented. We have a harmonica workshop for kids. There'll be some guitar lessons this year. The $1 for pop and water. It's $4 for a beer. The food is inexpensive and very good. We have Gail Fort and her family come over from Smokehouse and some other people doing food, and it's it's a great time. It's a great time.
What I like about you, you saw that I was bringing the Kinsey Report in, and you guys had them on the schedule later on this year. But you really dove right in. I mean, you put out some literature. You put out information in your magazine about the Juneteenth celebration. You even put out some history about Juneteenth, for people to read and look at. I can't thank you enough for that support.
Well, it's important. The music we have today came from the blues, and the blues came to us from Africa. African, through unfortunate situations, through the slave ships that brought the Africans over here, but it became America's music, and everything we listen to is from the blues, and it's just important to know that and realize that, and it's cool, and it's not something to be sad. I think there's some stigma attached to the blues. Well, that's old people's music, and that's from the old days, but it's not. It's if you listen to hip hop and rap and everything, it's really the blues. It's coming to us from the blues. Rap is the griot tradition, the oral history traditions from Western Africa. The griot is rap. I mean, it's not new stuff. The stuff the kids are listening to is hundreds of years old. It's just,
one of my favorite movies is Old Brother, We're Out There.
Oh yeah.
And that black guy in there, is that supposed to be Robert Johnson? Do you know?
He is.
Is this supposed to be Robert Johnson?
Yeah, they're sort of, because he went to the crossroads, Highway 49 and 61 and the devil and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, that's one of my favorite movies.
That's a good movie.
I just love it.
That is a great.
June 19th, you guys going to be there? You're going to be selling
we'll be there. We'll have a pop-up, and then we'll be there with some information, have some newsletters, some promotion materials about us. You can find out about Crossroads. It's going to be a good time. The Kinsey Report, those guys have been around since, I think, 85 or 6 with Papa Kinsey. He's passed away now, but his 3 sons keeping the band alive, and they've got another guitar player with them, and they're just a phenomenal band. They were here, I think they were actually at the Park District, had them last year or the year before, and they put on a great show. And they're they're just great musicians and just nice guys too.
Well, I saw a clip I went to John Beck's office, and I knew Juneteenth was on a Monday this year. I always keep it on June 19th because I want people to understand that the people that started Juneteenth started it on June 19th. If we don't make that important, it's not going to be important to anybody. But John Beck was telling me, well, it's on a Monday. Why don't you look at some blues bands? And I told him I wanted some blues bands. So we pulled them up. Kinsey Report gave me a couple other bands, but the Kinsey Report looked like what I wanted. They're close enough, they're reasonable in price, and it's going to be a good blues night at Mississippi Park.
And they're very talented guys. They're really, really, really good musicians, and I think they put on a great show. So I think the people that come out will really enjoy them.
Well, I'm really appreciative of you, and like I said, we're going to do another show later on this summer to really captivate your event coming up. Is it Lyron Park?
At Lyron Park, yeah.
Okay. All right. I got to take a few minutes. I had some things happen to some real close people of mine, if you don't mind waiting here. The last 2 or 3 weeks have been very tough for me. One of my young men in my mentoring group, D'Angelo Kimbrough, was murdered. And, he was in my class. We were talking about his future, and it just happened. Another young man, David Burke, who I've known for a long time, not that well, but I've known him for years. Him and my brother went to school together, passed away. But the real one that really bothered me, like all of them did, but Casper, the Ghost Blake, was a friend of mine from grade school days, early days at Allen Chapel. He was a small young man growing up, but he turned out to be one of the best football players that ever played from Rockford, Illinois. We played semi-pro football together in Delavan, Wisconsin. And he grew up to be a man after going to the Marines. One highlight of his, we were playing in the Chicago area, and Casper ran a punt back for 80 yards, and they threw a flag on him. And I told him, I said, Ghost, run it back 85 yards. And he turned around and ran the next one back 85 yards. I'd never seen that done. He was one of the best people I've known. He made some mistakes in his life, but who hasn't done that? He died at age 61, and he would truly be missed by his family, his friends, and people that knew him. 3 people that I know gone too soon and will truly be missed. And as usual, I'll see you next time.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the lines, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like this? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken from tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying?